Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left, making his MMA debut here tonight, standing in at 6 feet 2 inches, weighing in at 203.4 pounds, fighting out of Fruitland, Idaho, proudly representing Rick Rena MMA. Please welcome Nathan Galentine. His opponent fighting out of the red corner to my right, also making his MMA debut tonight, standing in at 6 feet 4 inches, weighing in at 203 pounds, fighting out of Boise, Idaho, representing the pit. Please welcome Brock Miller. Our referee again when the action begins is Nasty Nate Decker.
Well, Nathan Galentine called Vita Arteaga. He said he wanted to test his skills. He wanted an opportunity. He gets that now against Brock Miller. Our second fight is now underway. Miller putting that football background to work there, backing him up there into the cage, looking for a takedown. Galentine doing a really good job of keeping those legs back. Now, when you have a guy trying to take you down, what's the key to avoiding that when you're kicking your legs out?
It's key to legs back, hips down. You're trying to sprawl, you're trying to put your weight on them, trying to make them carry that weight. When it's a single leg like that, it's different. You're trying to get your single leg back, trying to get your hips back on top of them.
Miller able to get the takedown on Galentine. Now, in this first 45 seconds, we've obviously seen, as we mentioned, that football background of Miller come to play. Knowing that, seeing that now for the first time, what are you telling your guy? What are you telling Galentine right now is he's got to try to work from underneath?
Really watching how Brock sets up his takedowns. He clearly has that natural football style where it treats it more as a tackle. He's shoulder into the chest, a little high, and so the takedown itself may not be very effective because he's so high. I actually think it's really good for Galentine to get backed up into the cage. He can use that defensively to keep Miller from taking him down, as he did with the first takedown attempt.
Now you get some ground and pound there coming from Miller. Galentine almost had a good escape there. He's rolling to his side. How crucial is it to not really give up the back position?
Very big. If you're not trying to get, nobody's trying to get submitted here, but sometimes you do got to do it in order to get up. Hopefully right here he should be able to reach his left arm back, get an underhook, and be able to fight that position. Right
Miller
now,
doing a good job of staying right on top, looking to lock in that choke, not able to get underneath, throwing a couple of lefts there. Galentine doing all he can to cover up. Is this going to be it? Is Miller slows down the fists, trying to get going for that rear naked choke. Galentine doing a really good job keeping that chin tucked. How crucial is it to remind your fighter to keep that chin tucked in a moment like this?
It's extremely important. Not only that, but he's doing the right thing turning in.
You can hear Galentine saying mouthpiece, mouthpiece, as referee Nate Decker stops the fight for a second. Puts the fight in, puts the mouthpiece back in. We saw that happen in the first fight, kind of wondering why maybe the fight wasn't stopped there for a second. Is that something where the referee doesn't want to give up the position? Because maybe in the last fight when we saw both men are standing up, is that something a ref wants to do to, you know, if you need to put a mouthpiece back in, just like, hey, you guys freeze for a second?
Ideally, what they're looking for in order to stop the fight and put the mouthpiece in is some sort of separation. There's no separation when somebody's on top of you punching you in the face, so there's not really an opportune moment to do so.
Round number one coming to a close here between Nathan Galentine and Brock Miller. Referee Nate Decker explaining to Nate Galentine exactly what the thought process was there, getting the mouthpiece back in as we go to the Project Filter replay. Brock Miller showing off that football background with the shoulder in, as you were mentioning, Cameron, the shoulder in, pushing him back into the cage, into the takedown, and then once you get your opponent taken down, Vince, all bets are off, kind of like you got him down on the ground. What do you do now?
Exactly what Brock was doing there. He's trying to punch him into submission. He's trying to hit him and make him pay, open up that chin so he can slip that choke in. He was looking for it. It came close a couple times there.
What do you think is the biggest thing that Galentine needs to do in this second round to counteract that power, that brute strength from Brock Miller?
Footwork and distance control is going to be a critical element for Galentine in this round. He needs to move left and right. He needs to circle. He needs to find his angles so he can move and adapt more quickly and maybe get his hands going.
And we are underway in a round number 2 between Nathan Galentine and Brock Miller. Nathan Galentine in the black trunks with the white stripes. Brock Miller in the black trunk with his name on the side, so it should be pretty easy to tell who it is. Another big takedown with Brock Miller, driving that right shoulder into the chest of Galentine, and just absolutely that power game is on full display right now.
Absolutely. You can tell he's definitely a big, strong athlete. He's used to throwing some people around. You can see it.
Galentine doing a really good job of not, once the takedown happens, not staying stagnant, keeping that body moving. How key is it for him to keep doing that, and what does Brock do to stop it?
If he stops moving, he's effectively out of the fight. So he needs to continue moving. He's doing really well turning from side to side. He's doing well bridging, keeping Brock's center of gravity moving and not settled over his hips. If he can continue to do that, he'll have some success.
Miller with some right fists, trying to loosen him up to get that left arm under for the rear naked choke, able to land some right and lefts. Looks like he might have it locked in there. Did he get the arm underneath? He appears to do. We have a tap! Nathan Galentine submits Brock Miller. Gets the submission victory with a minute 46 left in round number 2 as the hometown crowd, the Boise State alum, is victorious in his MMA debut. Nathan Galentine obviously showing the disappointment in defeat, but you heard his cornerman say, don't be disappointed. It's obviously hard in any defeat, but how important it is to remind, your fighter when you lose a fight. Like, hey, it happens. This is, you either win or lose.
Exactly. And if we haven't accepted the fact that we're going in this and it's 50-50 a lot of times, that you're going to win or you're going to lose. I mean, if you want to continue to do it, you're going to have to accept that fact. And unfortunately he's on the bad end of that right now, but his corner did the right thing, told him to keep his head up. He fought well.
We talked about that brute strength, that football style from Brock Miller. We saw it a lot, that driving force right at the beginning as we go to the Project Filter replay. That power we talked about, that football style.
It was excellent. He really used his strength and athleticism well. He found success with the takedowns. He found success dominating that position. He made the adjustments he needed to for the finish.
How about a round of applause for these amateurs right here, both making their debut tonight. Out here to entertain us. And here we go. Your winner in his debut via rear naked choke at 1:13 of round number 2, fighting out of the red corner, Brock Miller! All right, Brock. MMA debut, game opponent here tonight. Talk to us a little bit about that first fight.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank God for keeping me and my opponent safe. I'm praying for every one of these next fights that it all goes smoothly, everyone stays safe. So thank you for that. I want to say thank you to Nathan for coming out here and competing. Great opponent, only 22 years old, has such a bright future ahead of him. I want to thank Front Street Fights for hosting me here. All my supporters and fans, thank you so much. All my sponsors, couldn't have asked for a better night. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, proudly representing the pit, your winner, Brock Miller!